It's time to sit back, relax, and listen to Change Your Attitude, Change Your Life. Change Your Attitude, Change Your Life will inspire, motivate, and empower you. Live your best life now. Listen, learn, think, and decide. Change your attitude, change your life. And now, here's your host, Joan Herman.
Welcome to Change Your Attitude, Change Your Life. I'm Joan Herman. Thanks for tuning in. Change Your Attitude, Change Your Life brings you interviews with some of the most inspirational and influential people in the world. It's our goal to educate and empower you so you can live your best life now. Thank you for taking time for yourself, and thank you for letting us be a part of your life. We have another great show for you today. The word menopause conjures up scary images of hot and sweaty women who are tired, cranky, gaining weight, and losing sleep. The physical changes that occur can be unnerving, but today's guest, Dr. Tara Allmen, believes that this challenging time can be an exciting one, the beginning of the happiest, healthiest years of a woman's life. She offers advice to help women be proactive and empowered to take charge of their symptoms. Dr. Allmen is a board-certified gynecologist and certified menopause practitioner. She has educated medical professionals and has been featured on The Dr. Oz Show, Good Morning America, NBC, CBS, among others. She's the author of the book, Menopause Confidential. Welcome, Dr. Allmen. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Joan. It's great to be here.
So, Doctor, my friends and I often laugh about the changes that we're experiencing, even though I think we're aging pretty well. But there are so many subtle things that are happening. Briefly tell us what is occurring in a woman's body during menopause.
Well, I want all your listeners to know there is a difference between perimenopause and menopause. So the definition of menopause is when our ovaries have retired. They no longer have any eggs left to ovulate. It begins with our last menstrual cycle and it ends when we end. Menopause goes for the rest of our life, so about 35 years. So when women, as you suggest, are experiencing symptoms, that's just the beginning of the menopause journey. And later on, we have to be very thoughtful and mindful of things like heart health and bone health and sexual health and brain health. There's many things that women need to learn in their late 40s and early 50s so they can maximize their health and wellness for the whole journey beyond. And I want your listeners to know what perimenopause is. That is the journey to menopause. Women are still having menstrual cycles, but now they're changing and becoming irregular. That usually starts somewhere in our 40s. And that is also fraught with a lot of perilous symptoms, much like the ones you've already mentioned.
So what is it, doctor, that's happening in our body hormonally?
Well, in perimenopause, our ovaries are winding down their function. They are producing estrogen still and testosterone and progesterone, but just less reliably. There's a lot of hormonal fluctuation going on, and that's what leads to symptoms for the perimenopausal crowd. And in menopause, our ovaries have retired, so we no longer have estrogen. It's estrogen that helped us feel well in terms of brain function and mood function and sexual function. And when we stop making estrogen, we just don't feel as well. So that's what's happening hormonally. We're not making estrogen anymore.
Even though this is a natural process, there are health risks that are associated with midlife, and you briefly mentioned a few, but what are some of the things that we need to be concerned about and why?
Everybody in midlife has to start becoming more concerned with their lifestyle choices. That means we all have to pay attention to eating better and more healthily and exercising. And I want your listeners to take at least one clinical pearl home with them today, which is that the American Heart Association requires 30 minutes at the minimum, 5 days a week of some kind of aerobic exercise in order to reduce the risk of heart disease, which is the number one killer of women. We have to be very concerned with heart health and very concerned with bone health after menopause and cognitive health and sexual health. I really like to think of it as health from head to toe. There's no part of us that is spared after menopause, after we stop making estrogen.
Doctor, one of the things that I find the most challenging during this time is weight management. Nothing that I did before works now. Why is that the case? And what's the secret to losing weight during this time?
Weight gain in midlife is very common, and it is a function of aging, not of menopause and not of perimenopause. But as we get older, we start to redistribute our weight right into our middles, right? So our pants don't fit nicely anymore. Everything gets tighter. And it's harder to lose that belly fat. And it's really a function of eating more calories than we need. We just need to eat less. And then I say to women, we also need to eat more. And by more, I mean all of the healthy fruits and vegetables. We need to pile those on. There's an unlimited amount of those we can eat. We need to eat less of everything we already know what we need to eat less of. And then if we could incorporate exercise as part of our weight maintenance program, here comes a shocker. The exercise part of the equation turns out to be 60 minutes of some kind of moderate aerobic activity 7 days a week. If we want our exercise to also contribute to our weight loss and weight maintenance, that is the equation that we have to do. So when women say, look, I go 2 to 3 times to the gym and I go to Zumba class. Well, and I'm not losing any weight. It is because that's not the right amount in order to have it be part of the equation. But it is the right amount to help with heart health and brain health and bone health. So any amount that we can do is so helpful. And vis-a-vis weight changes, pretty much we're all going to experience them. And the secret here is to eat less and to eat more.
Doctor, what are some of the screenings that need to be done during this time?
Well, when women turn 50, and men as well, we all need to have our screening colonoscopy, unless you've had some interesting risk factors that have brought you to the gastroenterologist sooner. Also, women, of course, need to get mammography, but those guidelines are changing. I want your listeners to listen up, that once we get into menopause, over the age of the American Cancer Society and several other organizations haven't really firmly agreed on the age, but at least over the age of 55, we can space out our mammography to every 2 years. It's a complicated reason why the screening intervals are being extended. And the same thing for pap smears for women. The guidelines have really changed appropriately to about every 3 to 5 years. Again, the screening interval is meant to help and protect women, not to harm them because we have been over-screening. So in general, midlife women should make sure they have a cholesterol and a vitamin D. At 50, it's time for your colonoscopy. Make sure you know what the new mammogram and pap smear guidelines are. And I would say those are basically the top few that we should know about.
So, doctor, there are things that we also have to manage that may not be as serious, but still they're annoying. I mean, those stray hairs on the chin, or, my friends and I always laugh that when we're together, we laugh so hard that someone always pees a little. So, how do we get through those things?
That is no laughing matter, Joan. There is a chapter in Menopause Confidential I have entitled To Pee or Not to Pee. Urinary incontinence is not a part of normal aging. So women, we do not accept if you laugh or cough or sneeze or an exercise class or have a sense of urgency to tinkle. Those conditions have names and they need to be sussed out. Do you have stress incontinence? Do you have urge incontinence? Do you have overactive bladder? So we cannot change our lives as midlife women and find out where every bathroom is, from our apartment or our house to the mall to the supermarket and to the movie theater. We can't live our lives that way. So it is time to get an evaluation either with a urologist or a urogynecologist. I do like to teach an important lesson about Kegel exercises. It's an easy exercise to do, and it's just to squeeze the pelvic musculature. I do tell women, don't squeeze your face. Leave it out of your face. It's all down low in the pelvis, and you want to hold your squeeze for 3 seconds. You want to do 30 Kegels a day. And that's, if you wanted to have biceps, you'd have to do the work. If you want to have strong pelvic musculature to reduce urinary incontinence, you have to do the Kegels. Vis-a-vis hair growth in all the wrong places that you mentioned, hair on our chinny chin chins, or other areas where women typically don't want hair to be. There's also the opposite thing that happens in midlife, whereas we start to get thinning hair or loss of hair. All of these changes to hair health, it is a natural part of aging for women to have thinning hair or some loss of hair. Estrogen is very hair protective, as it is very skin protective. And when we stop making estrogen, there is a change that we'll experience to both the texture and location of hair and the health and wellness of skin. We look in the mirror and all of a sudden we're seeing wrinkles and sagging we never noticed before.
If someone doesn't want to take medication, in addition to the recommendations you're making, a healthy diet and exercise, what are some natural things that they can incorporate into their daily life?
Women really do want to try natural remedies first. Most women do. So women can try black cohosh, and you can try soy supplements and soy foods. But the majority of what we have heard about, St. John's wort, yeast extract, red clover, maca, whatever women have heard, usually it has been looked at scientifically. It doesn't seem to work better than placebo. But what I like to counsel women in doing is whatever you want to try, give it a 3-month time frame. If it doesn't work for your specific symptoms by 3 months, it's not going to.
Doctor, when is hormone replacement therapy a good idea?
The absolute best scientific recommendation for choosing hormone therapy is for women who are within 10 years of their last menstrual period. Usually we're in our 40s and 50s, generally healthy women who are having flashes and sweat and a whole litany of symptoms, including vaginal dryness. And if you are that woman, you do not need to suffer because of your fear of breast cancer, which is all anyone seems to really fear when choosing hormone therapy. It's absolutely unassailable and uncontroversial for the woman who is within 10 years of her last menstrual cycle and symptomatic and has no interesting risk factors for breast cancer or blood clots or stroke or heart attack, and that's really most of us. We can all safely try hormone therapy for treatment. That's the gold standard treatment for menopausal symptoms.
The book is Menopause Confidential. If you would like to get more information about Dr. Allmen and her work, you can visit her website, drallmen.com. That's ALLMEN, drallmen.com. Dr. Allmen, thank you so much for being here with us today and for providing information to help us thrive through menopause. When we're educated and empowered, we really can create the best years of our life. So thank you for sharing.
You are welcome.
We'll be right back. Hi, this is Joan Herman, host of Change Your Attitude, Change Your Life. Did you know that Change Your Attitude, Change Your Life has a free monthly digital magazine that can be read online or emailed to your inbox? Every month, nationally recognized leaders in their field provide information to educate, inspire, and motivate you. We believe in a holistic approach to life, incorporating mind, body, and spirit. Check out a copy of Change Your Attitude, Change Your Life 24/7. Visit cyacyl.com and be sure to tell your friends. Thank you for joining us. I hope you found the show informative. At Change Your Attitude, Change Your Life, we believe that knowledge is power. Take what you've learned, apply it, and live your best life now. Remember that the information provided are the opinions of our guests and should never replace the advice of a professional who knows your personal situation. If you'd like more information, visit our website, cyacyl.com. While on the site, listen to past shows on demand, read our digital magazine, take part in the book club, check out our team, and be sure to follow the show on social media. Tune in next week when my guest is Leah Pearlman, a creator of the iconic Facebook like button and founder of Dharma Comics. Leah discusses a discovery that led her down a new path. Until next time, this is Joan Herman. Thanks for tuning in.